The dying stranger. The alien's blood was silver, and it was everywhere. Dr. Marcus Cole had saved hundreds of lives in his 10 years as a combat medic. He had seen every kind of wound, every kind of death, but he had never seen anything like this. The woman lying in the crashed escape pod was not human. Her skin was pale like moonlight. Her hair was long and silver black, spread across the broken metal like silk. Her ears were shaped like a human's, but they curved to elegant points at the tips. And her armor, it looked alive, smooth like liquid metal, covered in strange symbols that glowed faintly, even now. She was beautiful, she was terrifying, and she was dying. Marcus dropped to his knees beside her. His medical scanner beeped warnings at him. Multiple fractures, internal bleeding, severe head trauma. Her pulse was weak and getting weaker. "Can you hear me?" he said softly. "I am a medic. I am here to help you." Her eyes opened. Marcus felt his breath stop. Her eyes were gold, pure, bright gold, like two small suns trapped inside her skull. They focused on him with a sharpness that made him feel like she was looking directly into his soul. Then she spoke. Her voice was weak, broken, but her words were clear. "Kill me." Marcus blinked. "What?" "Kill me," she repeated. "Please, before they come." "I am not going to kill you," Marcus said firmly. "I am going to save you." "You do not understand." She tried to move, but pain made her gasp. "If they find you with me, they will destroy everything. Your people, your planet, everything." Marcus looked at her wounds. Plasma burns, energy weapon damage, the same weapons that had attacked the human colony 3 hours ago. "The enemy that did this to you," he said slowly, "they are the same ones attacking us." She closed her eyes. "Yes. The Vecna swarm. They have hunted me across 12 star systems. They will not stop." "Then we have the same enemy." Marcus opened his medical kit, "which means I am definitely not leaving you here to die." He began working on her wounds, cleaning, stitching, sealing the bleeding with foam that hardened like skin. She watched him with those golden eyes, confusion spreading across her face. "Why?" she whispered. "Why what?" "Why are you helping me? You do not know me. You do not know what I am. I could be your enemy." Marcus did not look up from his work. "Are you my enemy?" Silence. "No," she finally said. "Then stop asking stupid questions and let me work." For a long moment she just stared at him, like he was a puzzle she could not solve, like he was something impossible. No one had ever spoken to her like that. No one had ever refused her commands. No one had ever shown her kindness without wanting something in return. But this human, this simple, fragile human, was treating her wounds like she was just another patient, like saving her was the most natural thing in the world. She did not understand him at all. Marcus finished sealing her worst wound and checked her vitals. Stable. Barely. She needed rest, medicine, and time. He had very little of all three. Then he heard it. A high-pitched whine in the distance. Getting closer. Enemy drones. The crashed pod's signal. They had tracked it. Marcus looked at the sky. He could see them now. Small black shapes against the smoke-filled clouds. Dozens of them, coming fast. "They are here," she said. Her voice was calm, but her golden eyes showed fear. Not for herself. For him. "You must run. Leave me. Save yourself." Marcus looked at her. Then he looked at the drones. Then he looked back at her. "Can you walk?" "No." "Can you fight?" "Not yet. I need time. My power must regenerate." Marcus nodded. Then he did something that made her eyes go wide. He picked her up. "What are you doing?" demanded she.
"Saving your life," he said simply. "Now hold on, this is going to be rough." And then he ran, carrying the most powerful warrior in the galaxy in his arms, while death itself chased them through the burning ruins.
The hunted. She told him to run. He picked her up instead. Marcus Cole had just become the most wanted human in the galaxy, and he did not even know it. His legs burned as he ran through the destroyed streets. The alien woman in his arms was lighter than he expected, but every step sent pain through his exhausted body. Behind them, the sound of enemy drones grew louder, closer, hungrier. "You are a fool," she said through clenched teeth, "a complete fool." "Save your energy," Marcus replied, jumping over a fallen wall. "You can insult me when we are safe." "We will never be safe, not while I am with you." A plasma bolt exploded 3 feet to his left. Marcus dove behind a collapsed building, pressing his back against the broken stone. The woman gasped in pain as the movement shook her wounded body. "Sorry," he whispered. "Do not apologize." Her golden eyes scanned the sky. "Just keep moving. There is a structure ahead, underground. I can sense it." Marcus did not ask how she could sense anything. He simply trusted her. He ran. The entrance to the underground bunker was hidden beneath fallen debris, an old mining facility, abandoned long before the colony was built. Marcus kicked open the rusted door and carried her inside. Darkness swallowed them. He moved deeper into the tunnels, away from the entrance, away from the light, away from death. Finally, when he could run no more, he set her down gently against a cold stone wall. His medical scanner flickered in the darkness. Her vitals were dropping again. "You tore your stitches," he said quietly. "I need to fix them." "Leave it. We do not have time." "We have exactly as much time as I decide we have." He opened his kit and began working. "Now stay still." She stared at him, that same look of confusion, that same look of disbelief. "You are strange," she said finally. "I am a medic. We are all strange." "No, that is not what I mean." She studied his face as he worked on her wounds. "You have risked your life for me multiple times now. You carry me when you should run. You heal me when you should hide. Why?" Marcus did not answer immediately. He finished sealing her wound, then sat back against the opposite wall. "Because you needed help," he said simply. "That is enough reason for me." She was silent for a long moment. "In my world," she said slowly, "nothing is free. Every action has a price. Every kindness has a condition. When someone helps you, they want something. Power, influence, your body, your loyalty." She paused. "What do you want from me?" Marcus looked at her, truly looked at her, past the alien features, past the strange armor, past the golden eyes. He saw something he recognized. Loneliness. Deep, ancient loneliness. "I want you to rest so your wounds can heal. That is all I want." She did not respond, but something in her expression changed. Something softened, just for a moment. Then her body tensed. "They are here." Marcus heard it too, the sound of metal legs clicking against stone, the hum of weapons charging. The drones had found the bunker. He pulled out his pistol. One weapon, 12 bullets, against an army of machines. "How many?" he asked. 47. Marcus laughed bitterly. "I'm gonna need a bigger gun." "No." She grabbed his arm. Her grip was weak, but her eyes burned with intensity. "You need to hide, behind me, now. You can barely stand. You cannot fight." "I am not going to fight." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I am going to do something else, something I should not do, something that will cost me greatly." Marcus frowned. "What are you talking about?" The clicking sounds grew louder. Shadows moved at the end of the tunnel. Red lights glowed in the darkness. The drones had found them. She pushed herself up against the wall. Her legs trembled. Her wounds bled, but she stood. "Get behind me," she commanded. "Close your eyes, cover your ears." "What? Why?" "Because what you are about to hear, what you are about to feel, it will break your mind if you witness it directly."
She looked over her shoulder at him. Her golden eyes glowed brighter now. "I am going to show them why the entire galaxy fears my name." Marcus wanted to argue, wanted to refuse, but something in her voice stopped him. He moved behind her. He closed his eyes. He covered his ears. And then she screamed. It was not a normal scream. It was a sound that shook the walls, a sound that vibrated in his bones, a sound that felt like reality itself was being torn apart. Through his closed eyes, he saw light, blinding, terrible light. Through his covered ears, he heard destruction, metal being crushed, machines being vaporized, something ancient and powerful being unleashed. And then, silence. Complete, absolute silence. Marcus opened his eyes. The tunnel before him was destroyed, melted stone, vaporized metal, and bodies, machine bodies, scattered like broken toys. 47 drones, all dead, all destroyed, in seconds. And she collapsed into his arms. Blood poured from her nose, her ears, her eyes. Her body shook with violent tremors. Her golden eyes flickered like dying candles. "Worth it," she whispered. Then she went still. Marcus held her in the darkness, surrounded by the destruction she had created. His hands trembled. His mind struggled to understand what he had just witnessed. What was she? What was she? He looked down at her unconscious face, so peaceful now, so fragile. Hard to believe that this same woman had just killed 47 enemies with nothing but her voice. His medical scanner beeped urgently. Her vitals were crashing. "No," he said firmly. "No, no, no. You do not get to die. Not after that. Not after saving me." He laid her down gently and began working, faster than before, more desperate than before. He would save her. He had to save her, because now he understood one thing clearly. This woman was not just a wounded stranger. She was something far more powerful. And whatever secrets she carried, whatever truth she was hiding, he was going to uncover it all.
The revelation. She was dying in his arms, and Marcus refused to let her go. He worked through the darkness, hands steady, mind focused. He sealed her bleeding wounds. He stabilized her broken bones. He injected every medicine he had left into her trembling body. Hours passed. Her breathing grew stronger. Her pulse steadied. The bleeding stopped. But she did not wake. Marcus sat beside her in the cold silence of the destroyed tunnel. His body was exhausted. His supplies were empty. But he could not sleep, could not rest. Not until he understood. What was she? What power had she used? How did one woman destroy 47 war machines with nothing but a scream? He looked at her peaceful face. In sleep, she looked almost human, almost normal. But he had seen the truth now. He had felt it shake his bones. She was something beyond human understanding. Then she began to speak. At first, Marcus thought she was waking up, but her eyes remained closed, her body remained still, only her lips moved, whispering words in a language he did not recognize. Fever dreams. He leaned closer, listening. Most of it was untranslatable, strange sounds, alien syllables, but then, the fleet, position the fleet at the 7th gate. Marcus froze. Her voice had changed. It was no longer weak, no longer broken. It was commanding, powerful, the voice of someone who gave orders to millions. "Tell Admiral Vane the Dominion does not retreat. We do not surrender." Dominion. Marcus had heard that word before. Every human had. The eternal Dominion, the largest empire in the known galaxy, 10,000 star systems, trillions of subjects, an empire so powerful that even Earth's greatest nations avoided their territory. And their ruler? No, it could not be. "I am Valeria Zinthar," she whispered in her sleep. "I am the Empress, and I will not fall." Marcus stopped breathing.
His mind struggled to process what he just heard. This woman, this wounded, bleeding woman he had been carrying through ruins, she was the Empress, the supreme ruler of the most powerful empire in existence? Impossible. But even as he denied it, he knew it was true. The armor, the power, the way she spoke like someone who had never been refused. It all made sense now. He had saved the Empress. He had given orders to the Empress. He had told the Empress to stop asking stupid questions. Marcus put his head in his hands. I am a dead man. He needed proof. He needed to be sure. Her escape pod, there might be something inside. Moving quietly, Marcus returned to the tunnel entrance. The crashed pod was still there, half buried in debris. He climbed inside and searched. He found a data pad, cracked but functional. His fingers trembled as he activated it. Alien symbols filled the screen, but slowly his translator implant began converting them to English. What he saw made his blood run cold. Military reports, fleet positions, galactic maps showing 10,000 conquered worlds, and at the center of every document, one name. Empress Valeria Zinthar, Supreme Commander of the Eternal Dominion, ruler of 10,000 stars, the undying flame. There were images, too, images of her sitting on a throne made of black crystal, images of her leading armies across burning worlds, images of her standing before the corpses of kings who had defied her. 300 years. She had ruled for 300 years. And in all that time, no enemy had ever seen her wounded, no enemy had ever seen her weak. Those who did, according to the records, were executed immediately. It was law. Anyone who witnessed her vulnerability had to die. Marcus slowly closed the datapad. His heart pounded in his chest. He had seen her wounded. He had seen her helpless. He had seen her bleed and collapse and beg for death. By her own law, she had to kill him. He should run right now, take his chances in the ruins, get as far away from her as possible. But he did not move. Because despite everything, despite the fear, despite the danger, he could not abandon a patient. It was not who he was. It was not what he believed. He returned to her side and sat and waited. Hours later, her eyes opened. Gold light filled the darkness. She looked at him, studied him, and in that moment, Marcus knew she could see it in his face. She could see that he knew. "You found the datapad," she said quietly. Not a question. "Yes." "You know what I am?" "Yes." She sat up slowly. Her wounds were healing faster now. Her strength was returning. She looked at him with those ancient, powerful eyes. "In my empire, there is a law that has existed for 3 centuries. Anyone who sees me wounded, anyone who sees me weak, must die. No exceptions." Marcus said nothing. "You have seen me bleed. You have seen me fall. You have seen me beg for death. By my own law, I must kill you now." Still, Marcus did not move, did not run, did not beg. He just looked at her. "Then do it," he said quietly. "But know this, I do not regret saving you. I would do it again, 1,000 times, because that is who I am." She stared at him. The glow in her hand grew brighter and brighter and brighter. Then, "Give me one reason," she whispered, "one reason why I should let you live." Marcus looked into her golden eyes, and he smiled. "Because you do not want to kill me. You have had 100 chances, but you are still talking, still asking questions." He leaned closer. "You are not looking for a reason to kill me, Your Majesty. You are looking for a reason to let me live." Her eyes widened. No one had ever spoken to her like that. No one had ever seen through her like that. The glow in her hand flickered, and for the first time in 300 years, the Empress did not know what to do.
The bond. Her hand could erase him from existence. One thought, one pulse of power, and Marcus Cole would become nothing but ashes floating in the darkness. But he did not run. He did not beg. He laughed. The sound echoed through the silent tunnel, soft, genuine, completely unexpected. The Empress stared at him like he had lost his mind. "Your Majesty," Marcus said, still smiling, "if you keep waving your arm like that, your stitches will tear again, and I am almost out of medical supplies." She blinked. For 300 years, beings had trembled before her. Kings had kneeled. Generals had begged for mercy. Entire civilizations had surrendered at the mention of her name. But this human, this fragile, impossible human, was worried about her stitches. "You are insane," she said slowly. "Probably," he shrugged, "but I am also the only medic you have, so please sit down. Let me check your wounds." The glow in her hand flickered, then faded, then disappeared completely. She lowered her arm, not because she trusted him, not because she believed him, but because he was right. She did not want to kill him, and that terrified her more than any enemy ever had. She sat down slowly, her back against the cold stone wall. Marcus moved closer and began examining her injuries. His hands were gentle, careful, professional. "Why?" she asked quietly. "Why what?" "Why did you save me? The truth this time, not your medic philosophy, the real reason." Marcus was silent for a moment. His hands paused on her bandages. "Because I have seen enough death, too much death. I have watched friends die in my arms. I have held soldiers as they took their last breath. I have failed to save people I promised to protect." He looked into her golden eyes. "When I found you in that pod, I did not see an alien. I did not see an empress. I saw a person who was dying. And I decided, not this time. This time I would save someone." She studied his face, searched for lies, searched for hidden motives. She found nothing but truth. "You are strange," she whispered. "Your entire species is strange." "We get that a lot." Something changed in her expression. The coldness melted, just slightly. The walls she had built over 3 centuries cracked, just barely. "I was betrayed," she said suddenly. Marcus looked up. She was staring at the darkness ahead. Her voice was distant, empty. "My own generals, my own advisors, people I trusted for over a century." Her jaw tightened. "They made a deal with the Vecnar swarm, sold my location, disabled my ship's defenses, watched as the enemy tore my fleet apart." "Why?" "Because I am tired," she laughed bitterly. "After 300 years of war, I wanted peace. I wanted to stop conquering, stop destroying. I wanted to find another way." She looked at her hands, hands that had crushed empires. "They called me weak. They said an empress who desires peace is not fit to rule. So they decided to replace me, kill me, put someone stronger on the throne." Marcus listened in silence. "I was escaped in that pod, crashed on this planet, and I thought, this is how it ends, the great Empress Valeria, dying alone in the ruins of an alien world." Then she turned to him. "Then you found me." "Bad luck for both of us," Marcus said with a small smile. She almost smiled back, almost. "You should hate me. My empire has conquered thousands of species, destroyed countless worlds. We are monsters to most of the galaxy." "Are you a monster?" The question caught her off guard. I have done monstrous things." "That is not what I asked." Marcus sat beside her, close but not touching. "Is you a monster? Right now, in this moment, the woman sitting next to me in this dark tunnel, is she a monster?" She did not answer. Because the monster I keep hearing about, she would have killed me hours ago. She would not have saved me from those drones. She would not be sitting here talking to me like I am an equal." He looked at her directly. "I do not see a monster. I see a woman who is tired, who is lonely, who has been fighting so long that she forgot what peace feels like." Her golden eyes glistened. For 300 years, no one had spoken to her like this. No one had seen her as anything but a weapon, a symbol, a throne. But this human saw her, the real her. "Marcus Cole, that is your name, yes?" "Yes. Marcus Cole." She tested the words on her tongue. "You are either the bravest human I have ever met, or the most foolish. Probably both." This time she did smile, small, brief, but real. It was the first genuine smile she had given in over a century. They sat together in comfortable silence, two strangers from different worlds, different species, different lives. But in this moment, in this darkness, they were just two tired souls who had found each other. Then her body tensed, her eyes snapped toward the tunnel entrance. "They're coming." Marcus felt his stomach drop. More drones? No, not drones. Her voice was ice. A full invasion force. 5,000 soldiers, heavy weapons, warships in orbit. 5,000! Marcus grabbed his pistol. 12 bullets against 5,000 soldiers. "Can you fight?" She stood slowly. Her wounds were healing. Her power was returning, but not enough, not nearly enough. "I am at 60% strength, enough to fight, but not enough to win against an army this size." "Then what about protecting yourself?" She looked at him, and in her eyes he saw something that made his heart stop. Fear, not for herself, for him. "I can survive this battle, but I cannot protect you while fighting. If I focus on the enemy, you will be exposed. You will die." Marcus understood. "Then focus on the enemy. I can handle myself." "No, you cannot. Not against this force." "Then what do you suggest?" She was silent for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was heavy with something he had never heard from her before. Uncertainty. "I could leave," she whispered. "Fly away before they arrive. Save myself. My empire needs me alive. Logic says I should go." "Then go." She spun toward him. "What?" "You heard me." Marcus checked his pistol. 12 bullets against 5,000 soldiers. "Your empire needs you. The galaxy needs you. You are too important to die in some forgotten tunnel on a backwater planet." He smiled at her, calm, accepting. "Go. Save yourself. I will buy you as much time as I can." She stared at him. This human, this insane, wonderful, impossible human, he was telling her to leave him, to save herself. He was choosing to die so she could live. No one had ever done that for her. In 300 years, no one. Something broke inside her, something old and cold and locked away for centuries. "No," she said. Marcus frowned. "What do you mean, no?" "I mean no." She stepped closer to him. Her golden eyes burned with new fire. "I am not leaving you. I am not running away. I am not letting you die." "That is not logical." "I don't care about logic anymore." Her voice cracked. "For 300 years I have been logical. I have made the smart choice, the strategic choice, the cold choice, and it brought me nothing but loneliness and betrayal." She grabbed his hand. "You saved me when you had no reason to. You showed me kindness when I deserved none. You saw me, not the Empress, not the throne, just me." She squeezed his fingers. "So no, I am not leaving. When that army comes, I will fight beside you. And if we die together." Marcus looked at her golden eyes filled with tears she refused to shed, at her trembling lips pressed into a determined line, at her hand holding him like he was the only real thing in the universe. He squeezed back. "Together," he agreed. She smiled through her pain, that same small, real smile. Then the ground shook. They were here. Marcus raised his pistol, she raised her glowing hands, and together they turned toward the entrance, toward the army of 5,000 soldiers waiting to destroy them. "Marcus," she said quietly, "yes? Whatever happens next, thank you for everything." He looked at her one last time. "Thank me when we survive." And then the walls exploded.
The Empress's debt. When the Vecnar swarm saw what emerged from that tunnel, they tried to retreat. They tried to run. They tried to beg. But it was already too late. Empress Valeria Zinthar stood at the entrance of the destroyed bunker. Her silver-black hair floated around her like living shadows. Her golden eyes blazed with ancient fire. And her body, her wounded, bleeding, broken body, glowed with power that made the air itself tremble. Behind her stood Marcus Cole, 1 pistol, 12 bullets, and absolutely no intention of backing down. The enemy commander laughed through his speakers. His massive warship hovered above the battlefield, surrounded by 5,000 soldiers. "The mighty Empress?" he mocked. "Wounded, weak, hiding in a hole with a human pet? This is how the undying flame ends? Pathetic." Valeria said nothing. "Your generals send their regards," the commander continued. "They wanted me to deliver a message before I kill you. They said, 'I do not care what traitors say.'" Her voice was quiet, calm, but it carried across the entire battlefield like thunder. "I care only about one thing right now." She tilted her head slightly. "You brought 5,000 soldiers to kill me. You should have brought more." The commander's laugh died in his throat because she was smiling. And that smile, that cold, terrible, ancient smile, was the last thing many civilizations had seen before they were erased from history. "Kill her!" the commander screamed. "Kill them both!" 5,000 weapons fired at once, and Valeria raised her hand. The world turned gold. A barrier of pure energy exploded from her palm, blocking every blast, every bullet, every beam. The attacks crashed against her shield like waves against a mountain, useless, harmless. But Marcus could see the strain on her face. She was not fully healed. Every second cost her. "I cannot hold this forever," she said through gritted teeth. "When I drop the shield, I am going to attack. Stay behind me." "No." She glanced at him. "What?" Marcus stepped beside her. "I am not hiding behind you. I am fighting with you. You will die. Maybe," he raised his pistol, "but I will die standing, not hiding." Something flickered in her golden eyes. Pride, respect, something deeper that she could not name. "Foolish human," she whispered. "Stubborn empress," he replied. And then she dropped the shield. What happened next would be remembered for centuries. Valeria exploded forward like a golden comet. Her first attack vaporized 300 soldiers instantly. Her second shattered an entire battalion. She moved through the enemy army like death itself, beautiful, terrible, unstoppable. Marcus ran beside her, firing his pistol with perfect precision. Every bullet found its target. He was not superhuman. He was not powerful, but he was skilled, trained, and absolutely fearless. They fought together like they had trained for years. She cleared the heavy forces, he covered her blind spots. She destroyed the machines, he protected her back. Two beings from different worlds, fighting as one. The enemy commander watched in horror as his army crumbled. Half his forces were gone in minutes. This was impossible. She was supposed to be weak, wounded, dying. "All ships," he screamed into his communicator. "Orbital strike, now! Destroy everything!" High above, the Vecnar warships began charging their main cannons, weapons powerful enough to vaporize entire cities.
Valeria sensed it. She looked up at the sky, at the growing light in the clouds. No, she breathed. She could survive an orbital strike, maybe, but Marcus could not. Nothing human could. She had seconds to choose, save herself or save him. It was not even a question. She grabbed Marcus and threw him behind a massive boulder. Then she turned toward the sky, raised both hands, and screamed with every fragment of power left in her body. "You will not touch him!" Golden light erupted from her core. It shot upward like a pillar of pure starfire, climbing higher and higher until it reached the warships in orbit. And then those ships began to die. One by one, they exploded. Massive warships turned to dust. The commander's flagship cracked in half, falling from the sky like a burning meteor. Valeria had destroyed an entire fleet, with her scream, with her rage, with her love. But the cost. She collapsed. Blood poured from her eyes, her nose, her ears. Her body convulsed violently. She had used everything, every drop of power, every fragment of life force. She had burned herself to save him. Marcus ran to her side. "No, no, Valeria!" Her eyes flickered open, dim now, fading. "Marcus," she whispered, "do not speak. I will fix this. I will—" "You cannot fix this," she smiled weakly. "I used too much. I am dying." "No!" He grabbed her hand. "You do not get to die. Not after everything. Not after—" "It was worth it." A tear slid down her cheek. "You showed me something I had forgotten. Something I lost 300 years ago." "What?" "That kindness is not weakness. That love is not foolish. That one person, one simple, brave, beautiful person can change everything." Her eyes began to close. "Thank you, Marcus Cole, for saving me in every way that matters." "Valeria! Valeria!" But she was gone. Her hand went limp. Her breath stopped. Her golden eyes closed forever. Marcus held her in the burning ruins. Tears streamed down his face. Around them, the enemy army was destroyed. The war was won. But he felt no victory. Only loss. Only emptiness. Only light. Golden light. It started in her chest, a tiny spark. Then it grew, brighter, stronger, filling her entire body with warmth. Her eyes snapped open. She gasped, sucking in air like someone who had been drowning. Her body arched. Her wounds began to healing at impossible speed. Color returned to her skin. She was alive. Alive. Marcus stared in disbelief. "How? What?" "I don't know." She looked at her hands. "I should be dead. I felt myself die. But something pulled me back." She looked at him, at his tear-streaked face, at his trembling hand still holding hers. "You," she whispered. "Your grief, your love, it called to me, gave me something to return to." Marcus laughed through his tears. "That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. I am an immortal empress who just destroyed a fleet with my voice. Ridiculous is relative." He laughed harder. She laughed with him. And in that moment, surrounded by destruction and death and fire, they found joy. They had survived together. 3 hours later, the sky split open. Massive ships emerged from hyperspace, thousands of them, thousands, ships bearing the golden symbol of the eternal dominion. The Imperial fleet had arrived. Valeria stood as the first shuttle landed. A tall alien in decorated armor stepped out, Admiral Vane, one of the few commanders who had remained loyal. "My Empress," he knelt before her. "We received your emergency beacon. We came as fast as—" He stopped, his eyes fixed on Marcus standing beside her. "Who is this human?" "This human," said Valeria coldly. "Saved my life multiple times. He fought beside me against 5,000 enemies. He held me when I died and called me back to life." The Admiral's eyes widened. "Furthermore," she continued, her voice carrying across the entire battlefield, "the traitors generals who sold my location, I want them found, I want them brought before me, and I want them to know exactly why they failed." She turned to her soldiers, hundreds of them now, all watching, all listening. "This human showed me kindness when he owed me nothing. He showed me courage when he had every reason to run. He showed me strength is not just power. It is compassion. It is sacrifice. It is love." She took Marcus's hand, publicly, in front of her entire fleet. "From this moment forward, Marcus Cole is under my personal protection. His planet is under my protection. His species is under my protection." Her eyes blazed with golden fire. "Any who threaten them, any who harm them, any who even think of touching them, will answer to me, not as Empress, not as